Hello Pioneers, I hope you're well. My name is Ben and we're playing the Satisfactory Plus mod in Satisfactory. Last episode we had a ton of fun doing farming and slug breeding, and we even licked a slug and had an out-of-body, out-of-this-world experience. And on this episode we're going to explore something I was really excited about but haven't really taken the time to get used to playing with, and that's blueprints. Look at this gigantic Mark III blueprint designer. I want this. I want to start using it. I want to force myself to use it, and we're going to do it. But this requires steel parts that we can't make yet. So to begin, let's unlock some steel. And cue the intro. Okay, it looks like with the steel we've unlocked something called the air collector. It collects air and uses it, right? That's cool. We need one for steel. See, to make the steel ingots here, we need molten steel right here. And to get molten steel, we need molten iron, coal, and air. So to get that air, we're going to use the air collector. And the air collector requires brass pipes, as you can see right there. Aha, it's gone now. So let's figure out how to make some brass pipes first. Brass ingots are made out of molten brass mixed with some water. Okay, molten brass is made out of molten copper and molten zinc. And some crushed iron. Oh my gosh, this mod is so amazing. And also I'm really getting to that point where I always get when I'm trying to film footage, and it's that I've gone way too quickly and I don't have the infrastructure built yet. And the smart thing would be to pause now, but I'm going to forge ahead stubbornly just so we can get the blueprinter, and then we'll use that to catch up much quicker on our basic production. Okay, here's that covered sapphirite ore node that we shouldn't have covered. But this is going to be okay. This is going to be a temporary thing. We're just trying to unlock blueprints. And then we're going to catch up. I promise. It's a real thing. Alright, so now we're going to mine that up and we're going to need to crush it. Okay, this is making 60 per minute on 2 belts. And this accepts 60 per minute. So we're good there. And it's going to generate 60 per minute crushed sapphirite, which we now need to sort. Okay, the crushed items need to go into blast furnaces. What's happening here? Okay, crushed zinc and crushed copper are going to go into here. This is going to give us molten copper. And this is going to give us molten zinc. Okay, we're going to have to get rid of that crushed stone, and we're going to do that. Alright, put down another blast furnace here, and this is going to make our molten brass. I think. Let's run a pipeline. That looks like an output, right? So that should be molten copper. Yes, indeedy. Alright, and this one should be the molten zinc. It is. Okay, I think we're starting to learn. Except I should have put this on foundations, but we're going to worry about that later. And now we need crushed iron. Oh, this is so cool. You have to melt the different metals and then mix them together to make molten alloys and then solidify the alloy ingots. And we're going to have to deal with slag. And it's just so cool. But anyway, enough of me gushing. Let's get another solidifier and cooler, or a solidifier and cooler. Okay, this is going to make our brass ingots. And there's our molten brass. Awesome. Awesome, and now we just need water. Well, we're on the desert, so that shouldn't be a problem. Alright, that's yielded us 78 ingots. Let's see if that's enough. I really don't want to show you what I just did with that pipe. It is very unattractive. Okay, now it's time to rip all this down, because again, that was just to get those 10 brass pipes, and I'm not ready to make a even more semi-temporary than this. That's it. We can't talk about this ever again. Okay, I ran over to where those biological water nodes are, the northern ones, because there's some coal right here as well. So I think this will be a good spot to get our very temporary steel going. So let's refresh our memory of what we needed. To make steel ingots, we need molten steel and water. And to make molten steel, we need molten iron, air, and coal. Oh, excellent. There's stereotype right over there too. This is going to be a great little place for this little temporary steel. Okay, so we've got the miner, and we've got it going into the crusher, and that's going to get us 60 per minute, and that's going to be plenty for what we need. Crushed stereotype. Oh wait, we need to melt it down. So we need a blast furnace. Okay, but let's put the blast furnace over here so we can transport the iron as a solid. Okay, so now down here by the water, we're going to need water, and we are going to need air. I'm not sure. It said the higher these are, the more they produce, but let's see how that works. Let's try the blast furnace. Is that right? For molten iron. Yes. This is correct. Okay, but the big one now is the solidifier and cooler. This thing is so cool. On the air collector here, it says that if there's a gas pillar, it'll get toxic air. I'm guessing that's going to be a really interesting thing to build. Cannot wait to see what's in store. But again, baby steps right now. Really need to do baby steps. Oh, I did see that and I forgot. The steel rods actually come right out of here. Not even the steel ingots. I wonder if we can even make steel rods out of ingots otherwise. Steel rod. Okay, no, it's extruded in this machine, so we can't just handcraft it. And since all we need is the rods and the screws, let's set this up to be the proper thing. Steel rod. Okay, so this needs molten steel, so we need to make the molten steel with a blast furnace, I think. Molten steel. Okay, that's gonna make molten iron. So we're gonna ship the iron in. This is gonna melt it. This is gonna give the air intake. So now we have air, we have molten iron, and we need coal. So let's go build a miner up there. There, throw some crushed iron in. We've got molten iron. Air. It's air. Awesome. You bet it is, and I love it. Holy cow, this coal is so slow. And I hooked that up to the molten slag. Alright, we finished up our steel items. So let's check out this huge blueprinter. I was afraid of that it was going to require steel. I wonder, I might actually have enough to make the steel screws. I do not. Okay, so let's a little bit more handcrafting, just a little bit, but then we're there. Then we're gonna use this blueprinter to catch up. Holy cow, I thought that said 250 screws, not 2,500. We've got all the required parts now that we need to build this big blueprinter. And I'm just going to extend this little platform right here so we have a place to put it and work on our blueprints. Eventually I want to build blueprint buildings to house them. A big warehouse type of thing. And, oh, it's still not big enough. Holy cow, you can fit a lot of factory in this thing. Okay, I'm over here at the power plant that we have right now. And the first thing I want to blueprint is a duplicate one of these. Not a duplicate, but using the alternative recipe, this compact biomass is much more efficient. If we look at, so here it leaves turn 120 a constructor turns 120 leaves into 60 biomass per minute. And this constructor turns 120 biomass per minute into 60 solid biofuel. So both are 2 to 1. All right, but if I pop over here, remember each node of the biological water is going to give us 60 of the biological water, and each fuel conditioner needs 30. So we have 2 of these. So we have 120 leaves and 60 biomass. Okay, so we know the 120 leaves is going to turn into 60 biomass, so we have 120 biomass. Remember, the solid biofuel was also 2 to 1. So if we have 120, biomass, we can use 60 of it to turn into solid biofuel. That makes 30 because it's 2 to 1. And that leaves 60 biomass. So we have 60 biomass, 30 solid biofuel, which is still the same ratio as this. So we can run 1.5 of these machines per 1 biological water node. So 1.5 times 60 is 90, and 90, and so when you convert these, I had to test this, and I tore it apart, tested it, and reloaded the game. When you turn these to that compacted biomass, instead of 7.5 per minute, it uses 6 per minute, right? So we're going to do 90 divided by 6, and that was 15, which I just showed you right there. Yeah. So we're going to be able to power 15 of these if we switch over to compact biomass. Now I'm going to run back over to the blue printer and try to fit all of that into one. And if I find something interesting or cool, I'll try to film that part. Otherwise, I'll show you what I figured out after. And if you want this blueprint or any of the other blueprints that I ever design or use in this series, join my Discord. I'll put a link down in the description below, but we basically hang out all day talking about Satisfactory, Satisfactory Plus, and stuff like that. And I have a channel just as a repository for Satisfactory Plus blueprints, so come on over and join us. Okay, blueprint is done. The math works out really well for compact biomass and Satisfactory Plus, that it's going to make 15, it's going to run perfectly 15 power generators. So I broke them up into 5 generators on each floor into 3 pretty similar floors. I did actually make a blueprint of this first floor I made and then pasted it on top of it, and then I had to redo the belts because the biomass is going to come in from the biological water fluid conditioners right there, and it's going to get turned into the compact biomass here, and then go up here to the first floor, and then here, and then up to the second floor, and then back this way, and then up to the third floor and back this way. And yeah, it just works out really nicely. One node gives 2,250 megawatts of power. Let me just show you the gist of it. You've already seen me build this, so I'm not going to show it too much. But when I have to move this water pipe over here, when you fill a pipe from a lower section, it gets priority over something filled from the top. So if I add water into the top here, this will prioritize and make sure the 30 clean water from the fluid conditioners down below will be fully used up before any of the water gets used by the higher input. And that way it'll never clog because this water will always be used first from down there. Anyway, the biomass gets in right there and burned, heats up the water, and then the CO2 is piped out of the front of the burners here and around here to this chimney. And the hot steam goes directly into the power unit, the turbine, which is going to generate the power. And then the cooled steam, just regular steam, gets piped back over here and out to this chimney. And the math works again, that 5 of these output enough CO2 to 100% utilize one of the CO2 chimneys, and the regular steam from 5 units meets 100% of what one chimney can do. So again, it just works out so perfectly with the math. There, let's make this a blueprint. And I'm not ready to post it quite yet. I need to test it first, but I'll put it on Discord. And look what I unlocked. I love this little thing. I have to admit, one of the reasons I wanted to build a city is so that I could drive around in this little thing effectively. Yeah, this level is going to work out really well right here. The problem is I need a lot more water. I need 6 extractors for each module. And And I can do 4 modules with the 4 biological water nodes around here, so I'm gonna need to add 24 water extractors. Now I've never calculated how much or how many will fit on this, but I'm guessing it's not 24. This lack of water in the desert is really proving to be kind of an inconvenience. But let's power on. Let's put our first... Actually, let's just do our first one right here. It has an 8x8 footprint, so let me just zoop out a base. Okay, that's 7. And 8. Let's get a perch. Actually, I'm gonna go up even just a little bit higher and stand right here. Okay, let's test this out. There, that looks to be perfectly lined up. I need the water to come in and the biological. Let's see if I can figure out where that is. There in the bottom left of the screen right now is the biological and crushed rock input. So I'm gonna put that way. Yep. Boy, that's gonna be a lot to tear down if I make a mistake. I just realized they definitely need to add an undo button for a blueprint paste. Look at that. Where's all my pipe? Oh, there's the pipe. Oh. That is pretty entertaining to watch, actually. But I'm excited. Let's plug it in. Here we go. Our first compact biomass is coming out. Oh, look at that. That's cool. There. Everything appears to be working. There, while that pumps away and warms up, I'm just going to ignore it because otherwise I'll waste too much time just sitting here watching the wheels spin. That wheel, specifically. Okay, it's working. I'm having trouble with the pipes, I think. I think if I was to redo this, or I will probably go back and edit it, I would take out these pipes here and just hook those up after. Because I'm having trouble with, like, water wasn't going into this one without, I had to replace it. Oh, now there's clipping, I need to fix that, but let's change it horizontal to vertical. That should still work, right? Looks like it's filling. I had planned for a pump to be here, so maybe that just does need to be there. So now that doesn't work. Well, it's really driving me batty. The fluid mechanics, I just... Alright, I'm gonna let that clip for just a minute while this starts up. Yeah, okay, so anyway, on the blueprint, I'm gonna redo all these pipes. And I was thinking, maybe I'll bring water in from the top of the waterfall. Pretty sure I saw somebody suggest that somewhere. And boy, I'm having a really hard time. I keep wanting to do, I was thinking about building, say, like a brass factory or a better steel one and redoing a permanent one. But I need so much water, and there's just so little water here. It's really frustrating. But this power module works. And everything is working really well. First try, pretty much, except for those issues with the pipes. We're still not saturated yet. Until this fills with that compact biomass, it's going to struggle to stay hot. But that's okay. It's expected. Well, the good news is the sand running at 10 per minute has had time to build up 3,000, which is a little depressing to think about how long this has been running. But we're now ready to unlock lime dust, which is going to be awesome because now we can use concrete. Ooh, minor module crusher. Don't mind if I do. Oh, that's right. I set this one up to do... Oh, okay. past me did me a real solid. Yeah, so I forgot I had already split some of this line off to make the lime dust. So let's take all of that and paint the town concrete. Awesome. Just one step further for the city taking shape. I'm excited. I am overwhelmed, but I'm excited. And I think what we should do now is go and remake the brass factory that I already temporarily built and then tore down, and the same with the steel, but redo it. And also, I realized when I was editing the earlier part of this episode, between days of playing, that there is water right by the miner here. I didn't have to take all the items down to the water back here. I'll show you. So right here, there's a sapphirite node right there that we can use to get zinc and copper to make brass items. And then there's the coal right there for this iron node to make some steel. So let's do that. It needs to be, well, I want it to be a separate building from this stuff, but I think I'll be okay with it just being like right here. Oh, nice. There's a spot right here. Oh, and another one right there. Excellent. I need to get my chainsaw out. Alright, so the sapphirite will come in right there. We're going to need to crush the sapphirite. And then we're going to need to sort it. If I remember correctly. Okie dokie, crushed sapphirite. What purity is this node? It is not going to tell me. Normal, okay. Cool, 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 cool. Modular miner. And head are gonna give us 60 per minute total. This is gonna take that 60 ore, make 60 crushed sapphirite, and then we're gonna sort the sapphirite. So this is gonna be working at half to the crushed copper and crushed zinc and crushed stone. Now we need some blast furnaces. All right, we need the solid. We're putting a solid in, so I'll face it that direction. Confirm that that's crushed copper and turn this one into molten copper. And we'll do the exact same for the zinc. Man, these models are cool. Wet and smelly, I forgot about that. I love it. Such a fantastic job. The amount of detail. I know I've done it 1,000 times. I gush over this mod, but look at the detail on this. They look just stunning. They look just as every bit as cool as all the original models. I should probably check which one the slag comes out of. I'm guessing it's that one. No, it's not. That's the zinc. Okay. And it's the same there. That seems backwards compared to the crushers and sorters. I'm going to put the blast furnace for the brass up on this little pedestal here so I can route the slag outward easily. In fact, let's set that up real quick. Alright, I'm going to put the outputs. This is the slag. put it just like this. And just like that. Yeah. Okay, it's not amazing, but it's not clipping. It's time for me to slow down and stop with the insanity of the clipping. Let's pop a fluid conditioner down. Right there. This is to deal with slag. And what does this make? Slag as well. I love daisy chaining those. Very satisfying. Okay, until we redo the building, we'll put that iron crusher and sorter up in the building as well when we get to it. Right now I just want to get the dribble of production. Next we'll build a CO2 chimney right there and connect the output to here. Yes. Perfect. Now we're going to have cold slag and sulfur to deal with as well. And molten brass needs to go into a solidifier. So let's take a brass ingot, put the molten stuff in there, the water into there, and we'll build a steam cooling tower. Then we just plop down a constructor and select brass plates, and bed's your uncle. I need a little bit more room though, so I'm gonna come all the way over here. Because I didn't realize it at the time when I was building that, that you can get quite a lot of brass plates out of one of these setups. Because yeah, it's 30 and I'm making 120, so I can run all 4 of these. Just do a manifold split like this to make it easy. These must be marked 2, and I'm gonna have a little bit of clipping right here. I promise, I will fix all of this so it doesn't clip. I just can't remember without sitting down and studying this. Well, and look at this. This changed comparatively, like which one's the slag and which one was the brass. So I had to redo this, and I will mess with it more though and learn the ins and outs of the outputs, and then we'll make it a nice facility without any clipping. Yeah, look at this. No water flowing. It was working. Over there, you see it. I've made brass. Brass requires water. I have had the water. I just can't understand the head lift. Throw down some mergers. And we've got brass plates. Yeah, so that's gonna do it for this episode. We got a lot done. Got the power module designed and one of them implemented right here in front of us. And we built, unbuilt, and rebuilt some brass production. And we built and unbuilt the steel production that we needed to get that large blueprinter. And honestly, I just don't have any time for anything else right now. The blueprint design process took me several days, and I just need to put an episode out and just be done with this one for right now. So we'll get back into it next time with a lot more steel stuff. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye. So let's take all of that and paint the town concrete. Awesome joke. Nailed it. And look what I unlocked. You're interrupting my talking.